And we are live. Good morning and welcome back to Gym in the Crypto. Good morning, Crypto Warriors. Welcome back to Gym in the Crypto episode 309. Today is Monday, December 24th. For some, that is considered Christmas Eve, Kwanzaa. Happy everything. What am I forgetting? Our main one.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday. But happy holidays to everyone. And welcome back to Gym in the Crypto. I'm King.
Oh, yeah, and I'm Bitcoin Zay. And we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. That's what I was missing. Kwanzaa,
yeah.
Hanukkah. Make sure I get both of those.
I don't know too many holidays.
Too funny, right? It really don't.
To me, it's just Monday.
But yeah, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Want to go ahead and announce the free crypto coin from last week. Who was that?
Oh, yeah. Well, last week, the winners were Tessa and Milto. Actually sending those out to you today. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And another big important announcement we will remind you at the end of the show. But Bitcoin Zay's starter guide, Bitcoin starter guide 3.0 is out today.
Oh yeah.
Today's a brilliant day. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Uno, dos, tres.
Where can they find your Bitcoin starter guide? What is it different? You know, why is it different than the last two? And price. Give them all the details real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I've been working on this for a while, but the Bitcoin starter guide 3.0 is the third edition of my Bitcoin starter guide series.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, and this time, this guide is actually 4 times larger than the one before. Over 50 pages of information, over 25 plus vocabulary words. Some of the things inside are top 20 cryptocurrencies analysis, 8 ways to make money with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin for businesses, and regulations. I mean, it's a whole list of stuff in there. Basically, anything you need to get started in this space. Is pretty much there. Almost everything I've learned over the last 5 years, condensed down to a easy to read form, is on those 55 pages. So thank you all for the support. And the cost is only $20. Like I said, buy one less bottle when you go out tonight.
Too funny.
Get the starter guide 3.0.
There we go.
Give it away to your family, friends, if you already have the information, or keep it for yourself. Pretty
Come
good.
on, people. It's $20. That's all of 2 days of gas. All right,
yeah.
You can get that.
And
this will last you forever.
Oh yeah, and a special offer for those of you who do buy it. Anybody who purchases it before December 31st, you will be invited to the live 1-hour AMA I will have next Sunday. So anybody who gets the starter guide, has questions, doesn't know what's going on, you'll be invited to the AMA if you buy it. So definitely make sure you cop that Bitcoin starter guide 3.0. Give it to your grandmother, your mama, your cousin who doesn't listen to you. Maybe they'll listen to me. Give it to them for Christmas. So
there we go. All right, well, congratulations on that third Bitcoin starter guide out. Can't wait to read it myself, see all the information. People, he doesn't even let me see it, people. All right, I'm right here with you. I'm about to go online and get it after the show and get my knowledge up too. So good morning, Antonio, Shannon Allen, Tessa Hall. Who else we have in here? Torrance J Playlist, Leroy Forbes. Hello, hello, hello all.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hop into it. We have a lot of good stories there. I mean, it's a lot of interesting things. Of course, starting off the top of the day, have you seen it already? China's new, even though they're not new, China's cryptocurrency ratings, they done another one, see Bitcoin slip while embattled EOS maintains #1.
Oh yeah, let's pump EOS.
Right, didn't see that coming. Looks like China has released its latest government-sponsored rankings of major cryptocurrencies. They placed Bitcoin in 18th place while awarding the top spot to domestic blockchain platform EOS.
Domestic.
Wow.
But that's how you're supposed to do it, man.
I mean, I understand, but the disrespect, 18th.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you talking about that's NBA? Like I tell you, I've been watching NBA last year and a half. First time looking at it. I mean, is that a playoff seed?
Oh man.
Bitcoin don't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
is that what we
make the playoffs? What
Bitcoin's not making the playoffs right now.
Man. Sliding in NCAAs.
I have this is NCAA judges all over this right now. Looks like they listed a total of 34 top cryptos by market cap on the premise of basic tech, quote unquote, which is, to me, if you're listing crypto off of quote unquote basic tech, that's impossible because none of them are basic right now. Applicability, again, I don't know how Bitcoin could be 18 when it's been applied more than any other token out there.
Nothing else has even been applied close.
And creativity, and again, the creativity part. What has been more creative than Bitcoin? This launched everything.
Started everything. But hey, Shannon Allen said China first. They always put China first. They don't care if it is a superior product. China first. And in some communities, if we adopted that same thought process,
that is true.
Then maybe you would get a lot further because when people know you can't mess with us. that's how you'll pretty much be able to stand firm. So
on this Merry Christmas Eve, I want to go ahead and tell a funny joke. We know who does believe in that, and I hear it's called the Catholic Church.
Oh, yeah.
That should piss some people off.
Oh yeah, hey man, but it's a lot of communities that do that.
But it's first, man. It's kind of one of those things where it's almost comical. If it wasn't an actual government, the second, third, fourth largest government in the world doing this, it would be comical. But you literally have an entire government, which compromises about almost 2 billion people, 1.6, 1.7 billion people.
Too many.
So you literally have information getting peddled to about a quarter, almost not even a quarter. I would say about 18% of the world's population is getting something that is literally just wrong. That's false, and it's crazy. They're getting false knowledge from the government. I mean, it's something our government does too. Everybody does it, but it's crazy to see this in 2018 or really 2019 with all the technology, and then you still have your government saying things like, "Well, Bitcoin is number 18th on this list of cryptos." Like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I'd be interested to see what kind of connections Daniel Larimer has, because not only did EOS get number 1, BitShares got number 7. Oh, so whatever he has going on in China right now, they are definitely on his side. And it doesn't matter if you hate a coin or if you like it. If China is behind it, it will pump at some point. There is no, or if Asia, any part of Asia, Japan, if anybody likes a certain technology or coin, it will pump at some point. And I think if it has a ant shares type growth, then you can see EOS passing Ethereum in maybe 2 years. So that's one of the things people are looking forward to with EOS. They do have some stuff to work out, but like we said, if they put it first, and what you say, 18% of the world thinks that this is better, people are gonna buy it.
And I would say again, I get it. It makes sense. And I do understand China's policies and stuff. China first, not just China. If you Russia first, a lot of countries do it. I mean, honestly, when it comes to as far as culture is U.S. first, not necessarily our policies, but our culture. Yeah. So I get why people do it, but again, it's just one of those things where, is this what we're going to do our entire lives? Is this, I live on this side of the land, this is our team, and we're going to spread falsehoods because it makes us all feel better? Come on. Yeah. At this point, we're becoming borderless. We officially have a borderless monetary system, whether some people want to believe it or not. Cultures are becoming borderless with, internet technology. Regimes are being overthrown every day. So it's just one of those things where, again, I get why they're doing it, but come on. Really? 18th? The disrespect is so real. The disrespect is just so real. You might as well not even put it on the list. Why put it on the list? Let's keep it all the way real and just be like, hey, this is not even thrown up there. We get it, but I thought that was pretty interesting.
It's like when they put Kobe in 93rd in the NBA, something crazy like that. His last year, was like, where do you think all these players get their game from? Kobe.
Right. Stop disrespecting.
Stop disrespecting young Kobe.
All right, another top story of the day: Bitfinex crypto exchange launches margin trading for stablecoin Tether.
There we go, Tether. There we go.
Wow.
Let's just double down on. Let's just double down on. That's what I'm talking about.
In a move I don't fully understand myself. Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency. When I say I don't understand how this is going to work, but Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency exchange Bitfinex has introduced margin trading for stablecoin Tether, according to a blog post published last week. Looks like Bitfinex has launched the margin trading for the USD Tether USD pair, which would purportedly lead to more efficient price discovery and enable users to hedge exposure taking on stablecoins. Along with a dedicated lending market, USD Tether will be available as collateral for margin positions. The post further reads, wow.
Well, let's just look at the timing of this.
Right.
This comes out a day after Steve Munchkin is on the phone with 6 of the biggest bank CEOs in the world, and he's asking them, is the economy going, or he's telling them, they think the economy is going to recover, is it going to be bad? And here we have a trading pair where you can trade against the US dollar with Tether. Basically, they're daring you to short Tether.
Come on in the crypto, people.
They're going to reel you in. Because if I had $1 million right now, I would put it on you. I would buy USDT, some of it, and then I would short the US dollar or go long on USDT, because I'm pretty sure if the dollar loses value,
right now
Tether,
is a good time to.
This is perfect time in the market to do it. And this isn't trust me, this isn't a random pairing that they're putting together. It's weird because what they want people to. Bitfinex, remember, Bitfinex and Tether work together. They're actually, cohorts. So even if there is some sort of manipulation, if they have it going, they're basically daring you to say that they're insolvent. If you don't think Tether has $3 billion billion in reserves or $4 billion, short it. So if you think Tether's gonna go down to 80 cents or 50 cents or something and go away, go ahead and short it. Yeah, go ahead. And then when they scan all the orders on the Bitfinex order book and they see that most people are net short, they're gonna pump it through the roof, take your money, and they're gonna have USDT on top of it. Yeah. So that is exactly what this pair is for, honestly.
Well, there you have it, people. I mean, that's giving you an inside look as how to trade the USDT if you decide to play with it. If you're not familiar with margin trading, Tether, any of these things, make sure you do your due diligence before you jump on this and try to make this quick Christmas getaway, because you will get wrecked. Shannon Allen saying it's a layup for institutions. Yeah. CryptoQ said Trollbox customer service explained what Tether was and never trade on that platform. Well, what I will say also is that you know, with Bitfinex, Bitfinex is trash, but they had EOS early. Okay, all right.
And that really pushed them a lot because, you know, a lot of the U.S. customers got kicked off. Right. Including myself. I had Bitfinex like 3 years ago. I was thinking about that in my head. 4 years ago, and I just got emailed the blue. It was like, yeah, starting December 2017. We just found out where you
actually live at.
Yeah, exactly. Starting December 2017, all U.S. customers, blah, blah, blah. And if you ever logged in from a U.S. IP address, then they kicked you off. It doesn't matter if you...
Yeah, if you did it, it did mean like that. I logged in once.
If you ever logged in once.
Didn't go on that VPN one time. I got taken to task for it.
Yeah, See, I think I got on my phone a long time ago.
Hey, every little thing matters, people, because they're looking for all these little holes. Think about it from a hacker's perspective. Oh, yeah. But what I was going to say with Tether, this is honestly one of those cases where at this point, I do believe a little bit. At the beginning, they didn't have the money. But they were like, you know what? All we got to do stay in the game. We'll get the money. They know. They're like, we're going to get our hands on the money. I mean, we got most of it. We'll make some trades. We'll get the money. And they finally got the money, which is why now they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. They talking mad. Yeah, talking mad crazy now, right?
Just all
They weren't talking like this
in the camera.
When the Bitfinex, whoever that was on Twitter that was calling them out. I mean, granted, they were talking about, countersuing them for defamation and all that good stuff. But they weren't talking tough like they are right now. I mean, right now they've been hitting the weight room the last 6 or 7 months. That bank account grown a little bit. They feeling pretty invincible right now.
Outside audit.
And then a little outside audit. Everything's good. And they say, you know what? I mean, really at this point, whether Tether has the money or not, from a business perspective, this is perfect. Double down at this point. They have no choice. We're going to talk about it here in a moment about some of these companies that are closing. People are getting laid off. Like, companies in the crypto space are going down in flames right now because of the capital it takes, to maintain them, and of course what happened with the market this year. So if this is Bitfinex's last stand, I get it. The last stand. Hey, you know what? Let's go against the dollar. Like, why wait? Why are we playing? So regardless of how it works, this is a big deal because, again, as you said, they're giving people the option now to leave the dollar. Not really go fully into crypto, but be in that nice little safe, what's considered a safer middle ground. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, like I said, you all seen Scarface when they start running up on him.
Too funny.
Tether is sitting at the desk right now, getting ready. That's exactly what they just did. They're sitting at the desk.
I didn't know where you're gonna go with it, but I knew you're gonna bring it around somewhere.
Yeah, they got a pile of USDT on their desk.
That is and they are ready for it. They got this suit on.
They might go down. Yeah, they might go down.
Button the shirt,
but it ain't gonna be easy.
Oh, y'all thought we was gonna fold? We don't bend. We don't break. Oh, yeah. All right. Bitmain allegedly fires all Bcash developers in wave of redundancies. Wow. And you know what? Give it up to Cointelegraph for this artwork. Hilarious.
Get them out of here.
They got a tagger tagging over the Bitcoin Cash part. But it looks like cryptocurrency giant Bitmain has reportedly fired its entire staff of Bitcoin Cash developers. Blockstream CSO Samson Mao reported, citing Chinese social media sources. What's going on here?
Well, I mean, Bcash has never really had developers that are committed. They've had develelers that come and go. Yeah, they kind of enthusiasts. Come and go. Like, okay, yeah. But it's Bcash and all the splits and all the forks, they're run by the miners. They're run by Jahan Wu, Roger Ver, Craig Wright, all their people that have mining. The development part of it doesn't really matter because it hasn't mattered to them. Like, it doesn't matter to me because it doesn't really matter to them. They haven't developed anything worthwhile. They haven't. The 32 megabyte blocks was a fail.
They just keep forking off of Bitcoin and making small, like trying to make small.
They haven't actually made anything, and it's been what, a year now, 2 years since they've been talking about it. But yeah, it's one of those things where you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. Like, when they come out with the coin, because things like this happen. You got 50 workers now gone from Bitmain. Bitmain lied about the IPO. We called that a while back. There was no way they were worth $10 billion.
Right. Yeah, and we did say, we were like, that's a pretty high number.
Y'all
yeah.
Coinbase? No, I don't think so. Right. Especially when y'all only allowing one machine to get sold at a time.
Some people can actually count and do accounting, right? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
They got caught. So, you know, it's one of those situations where we knew it, you knew it, they knew it. But Bcash developers supposedly are, you know, supposed to be feel sorry for it. No, I don't feel sorry for it if you're a Bcash developer.
Man. Oh, man. Oh,
I mean, good gracious. How dumb can you be?
Where's the holiday spirit?
Man.
Well, listen, it's also one of those things, you know, it said only 1 week notice. Some had just joined the company. Mal had added to that. It looks like some of these devs actually, I mean, literally had a week notice. Bitmain has about 2,500 strong working for them. And again, I mean, that sucks on the layoff part, but as you said, you know, if you were going into this, you know, Bcash being your job, you kind of had to already go in there knowing that if you understand the market. You know, it's one of those things where it happens. We're seeing that happen a lot, and it's kind of like what Bitfinex may or may not be doing. I think Bitmain did it with their, their IPO, $10 billion was called out. You know, they saw the market this year. Again, they're into mining. We just saw a story today. It's talking about, I believe, NVIDIA or one of them is at its lowest on the stock market because of mining that's been down this year. So it's one of those things where, once again, we take that last shot, last ditch effort. Is this part of the company going to close down? If so, let's hire as many people as we can. Let's see if we can make something happen. If not, hey, that part of the company has to go. And as you see, you know, they're going to let it happen pretty fast. It looked like it resulted. And earlier this year, they already got rid of 23 jobs, and I believe this is like another 50. So that's about 73 people in about 3 weeks. So unfortunate for those people, especially around the holidays. However, this is the market we are in, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Wild, Wild West. Wild, Wild West.
Speaking of that story, though, this is pretty interesting. Report finds over $3 million of altcoin, Bitcoin private, covertly pre-mined.
Oh, yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah, make scams great again.
There we go. During the import of Bitcoin chain data, an additional 2.04 million units of altcoin Bitcoin private have reportedly been secretly coined, crypto assets analytics website Coinmetric reported to, yesterday. Looks like the allegedly secretly coined cryptocurrency, a fork merging Bitcoin and Z Classic, is worth $3.672 million at press time. It's one of those things when this came out, people. If you remember, it was Bitcoin private, Bitcoin diamond, Bitcoin Cash,
Bitcoin Gold,
Bitcoin Platinum. Bitcoin Platinum actually came out, if you can believe it. They made some. I think it was shut down. But they actually made some money up front somehow, getting people to pre-buy it or something. I don't know.
They got 51% attack.
Right, and they got by themselves, of course. Right. Oh man, I got 51% attack. Yes, that's it. But it's just one of those things where, again, when this happened last year, and this article kind of talks about it. They talk about a year ago, which at this point it was about a year and a half ago, actually. Come on, writers. It's not, who is this? I mean, come on, Adrian. It's about a year and a half ago at this point.
Exactly.
But Segwit 2X, a hard fork designed to help with the scalability issues of Bitcoin, was scheduled to happen at a predetermined block. It was canceled. If you actually remember, Segwit 2X was a hostile takeover from the New York agreement with a lot of these companies like Coinbase and Gemini and Vinny. From Civic Key got in a big room in New York and said, hey, let's just basically fork Bitcoin and take over the market. It didn't work. Shortly after that is when Jeff Garzlik, who actually led that attack, tried his metronome ICO literally 4 or 5 days later after that failed fork.
And that was weird.
And that was weird. His ICO was to stop forks from happening in the future, even though he led this initial fork that didn't even happen. Literally a couple of weeks after that, a few weeks after that, Bcash rolled out, where again we were trying to tell people that, hey, they got the game. They weren't able to successfully fork all Bitcoin to their own, but they see the game plan as far as making money. They forked it off with Bcash. People didn't want to believe us then. Then it was, of course, private, gold, platinum. And now to come out about a year later, it turns out that one of them, which I'm sure was more than just Bitcoin private, but one is being reported on having already a bunch of coins coined. I mean, they just stole money from unsuspecting investors that, you know, came to our channel and other channels like us and said, we don't know what we're talking about. These are legitimate people behind these coins and companies, and then it comes to find out, no, they're not.
Yeah, they've been scams from the beginning. This is just greed at its worst, and honestly, Bitcoin is fine by itself. all these offshoots have failed. They continue to fail. I mean, Bitcoin XT, Bitcoin. I mean, they've been doing it since forever. So Torrance J playlist, Bitcoin Diamond Pump. It was crazy. Yeah, it was a few of them like that. I think Z Classic. I think they airdropped Bitcoin Private. That was crazy. But hey, all pump and dumps that go on those websites, they come to an end. So now that we see that it's pre-mined. Honestly, we've seen this with other coins. We've seen this with Dash. We've seen this with other ones. However, it wasn't robust. This isn't robust enough to survive it simply because it's too late in the game now to have stuff like this and recover, I think. Dash was pre-mined back in like 2011. And, you know, most of the pre-mined back then, it happened, but people were so new to the market, all of the volume came in anyway. So this one is a little too late. Bitcoin Private, get up out of here. Crypto catfishing.
And it looks like, I know, crypto catfish in the flesh. It looks like, I guess, Segwit 2X that tried to be revived. Let me see this toward the end of this story. They're saying that when they try to revive it, it looks like developers have tried to pre-mine 6 million Bitcoin, equivalent to 28% of the total supply. People,
try to sell it.
this is the reason why, you know, at the very least, it's good you're watching, you know, folks like us, Crypto Blood, some of these other channels that kind of do their due diligence and look into it. But this is also why, you know, the developing and coding and the tech part is so important, because if you don't know how to really read some of this stuff in the literature or understand what you're looking at in the code, you're not going to know this. Yeah. I mean, you're literally going to go into these projects, everything, Bcash is, you know, Bitcoin private, this is what it is. And then it's like, well, you know, 30% is already gone. So.
Yeah, it was funny. A lot of new people last year this time, they would read white papers and hit me up like, hey, they said they have this, they have that. And I was like, I read that same white paper 3 years ago, honestly. Like, they just copy and paste it, throw some word soup in there, and people think it's, you know, some new technology. Nah, it's here.
People already know how I feel. If your white paper is over 10, 15 pages, not only does it not get fully read, but it's already a big red flag.
Go ahead and keep that, bro.
It's like, all right, so your project is more intensive than Bitcoin. Let me read more 90 pages about it. Nobody's reading a book to be sold on your project.
Send me a one-page deck and we'll be all right.
At least 340 UK crypto or blockchain companies ceased operations in 2018. Wow, that is literally almost one a day.
Yeah.
Literally almost one a day. A company or operation in the crypto spot, and that's just in the UK. So if you're talking about the entire world or just the UK and the US at least, I know it's one a day. But
let's get some capitulation.
Right, at least 340 again. Crypto and blockchain companies were dissolved or liquidated this year in the UK. British news outlet Sky News reported on December 22nd. Antonio, what is going on in the UK?
I know, right? They just letting go all the companies.
I heard you just mention capitulation. Is the bottom officially in? I mean, we got companies that are going out of business. People are being laid off.
Brian Kelly's short now.
Right. Yeah. I saw somebody say something about that on CNBC on our Twitter today as well. Yeah. So is this the bottom? I mean, we kind of saw it. It definitely didn't touch 3K flat because I think that would have started a buying frenzy. Yeah. But we saw it go as low as 33, 34 last week. Companies are getting let loose. I mean, wow, a lot going on right now.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see to the 10-year anniversary in a few days. We'll have to see what happens with that because if the price pumps ridiculous that day, that may start a new trend. However, I always tell people whenever you look back, the bottom seems very obvious, and then while you're in it, while you're looking at it,
it's cloudy,
like I don't know.
With a chance of meatballs.
You look at the chart, and I'm looking back, I'm like, dog, I remember staring at the chart at this time and remember thinking to myself, man, it's gonna go down further, and then boom, we have another bull run, you know, whatever, or vice versa. So it's always hindsight is 20/20, but you know, at this point, we'll just have to wait and see what the price does in this bear market.
Well, we'll say though, you know, this is what when people talk about the bubble. This is, but it isn't a bubble. This is a regular market cycle. When you talk about all these companies that close and people I told you and all that, well, no, some of these companies are going to come back. Hardened, seasoned veterans in the community are going to be like, all right, we already know we messed with the first couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
And some people might not. Some people just might come back as users. But
hey, man, Bitcoin Trade came back. Anybody can come back.
Wow.
Everybody can come back.
You know what? But shout out to these companies in general because, hey, at least they took a chance on something innovative and different. Yeah. It didn't work out for them this year. And you know what? Just because they're closed, I mean they're closed forever. It means they're closed for now. Some might come back because honestly, it's not just wasn't optimal, especially last few months to be running a crypto company. Yeah. So just because companies stop or slow down doesn't mean they're already out the picture. It's just like, hey, we just got to be smart right now. Got to cut the fat and survive this winter because you don't want to be one. You don't want to be company 341. Yeah. So I think that's what we're seeing with Bitmain. We're talking about Steam It, with all these companies that are cutting employees. Consensus. All these companies are cutting employees. they're not out of it. I mean, but they are, you know, they're howling down, as you always say, for this long crypto winter. They're hibernating, and hopefully next year when this price returns, they can return as well.
I can guarantee you, next bull market, it won't be a lot of people getting hired like this time.
No,
this bull market,
it's gonna be constricted.
They were just bringing people off the street. It was like, you know, the word blockchain. All right, come on in, brother. You know, like it was just pulling people into the office. So, you know, next time people will be a lot smarter, a lot more hardened investors and business owners, I think.
And also, I think for the next market, we're going to start to find price discovery for different crypto positions, which isn't out there right now. It's a lot of, you know, when we do reviews on YouTube or when people want a PR person for their blockchain or crypto company or whatever your job is, developer, there really wasn't a price point for it. It still isn't. It's the Wild West. It's this is who I say I am. You better believe it. I can show you some things maybe or maybe not, and this is how much I want to get paid. And companies, nor, you know, really the people who are working in space know what that asking price, that market price is. So I can't wait to actually see going into next year, going into the next bull run where, you know, now you have these bull runs where institutions are already involved. I mean, think about it. When Goldman Sachs and Chase and Bank of America and all these Fidelity people come to hire more blockchain, you know, experts or and professionals and all this stuff, what is going to be that price point? So I think we'll start to see that price discovery this year. I can't wait to see it as well. I can't wait to hear the first stories of, you know, if you just do XYZ in blockchain or in crypto, you can make XYZ as well. So once we find those prices, I think that's going to help the market as well.
Oh, yeah.
Harold Joyce said people are just slapping blockchain or crypto on anything this year and last, so not really worried about this too much. So I read more. Could be a bunch of those in there.
Blockchain is the new vegan.
Right.
Man, I went to Santa Monica. I saw vegan dry cleaners, and I was like, all right, now we've gone too far. Whenever I see blockchain dry cleaners, that's when we back at the top.
Track your dry cleaning on the blockchain.
Yeah, exactly. Track your dirty draws on.
Oh man, and another very interesting story. We had to call out our own country. United States lawmakers introduced bill to impose sanctions on Iranian national cryptocurrency. Sanctions. Now, if you know about Iranian national cryptocurrency, you would know that it is not even really here yet. It's not real. It's not even a thing. They're working on it to get around the United States sanctions. But at the same time of them doing that, U.S. lawmakers introduced a bill to levy further sanctions on Iranian financial institutions and development, because they're like, hey, this is nuclear weapons. We don't want you to develop it. The development and use of the national digital currency, House Resolution 7321, was introduced in the United States House of Representatives by Representative Mike Gallagher last week on the 17th. Of course, they're saying in a bid to combat, you know it, people, money laundering and terrorist-related activities. I'm
starting to think we don't have a nuclear bomb.
Right?
I mean, in my opinion, at this point, the boogeyman, like, all right, as a parent, I mean, I'm not a parent, but as a kid who had parents, I remember they used to dangle stuff in front of you like, well, this is going to happen if you do it. And then it comes to find out it didn't actually exist, or they weren't actually going to do it. And I'm pretty sure this is what they're dangling in front of the American people. Like, hey, man, if we don't stop Iran, they're going to drop a nuclear bomb. And honestly, you know, at this point, I mean, cut the bull. I'm tired of even hearing about nuclear bombs. If you're going to do something, do it. Let's just go ahead and get it over with. Let's see what happens.
Right.
But if not, stop trying to tell us that we need to sanction. Because I'm telling you, if they'll sanction Iran and they'll sanction other countries, they're coming to your doorstep at some point.
They have.
They've already done it.
You want to tell United States, quote unquote, national security secrets, even though they compromise the private citizen? I'm thinking about Edward Snowden, right? Or WikiLeaks and all that. Well, guess what? You guys can't use PayPal anymore.
Free Ross.
You can't use, Ross. You can't use banks anymore. I mean, that is literally terrorist activities right there. To stop a person's finances is terrorist activity. So it's being called the Blocking Iran Illicit Finance Act. It's calling for sanctions on the Iranian financial sector. Again, the development and use of the national cryptocurrency. But what's even more interesting is that our government right now is in a partial shutdown. We shut down last week on Friday night, as we have keep telling you all. And again, 3 is a trend, as we say in the military. This has happened at least 4 times, where Friday nights the government is pushing shit through. I mean, pardon me, but come on,
there is a reason.
Come on, we have to wake up to this madness. But
Friday nights are hilarious.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be at the next club C-SPAN on a Friday night, and they're gonna walk out, patting each other on the back, 2, 3 in the morning when it ends, coking and joking. I'm just gonna be waiting outside. You know it, people, with a tub of tar and feathers in another hand, people. It's gonna be like a jumping is about to happen. As soon as they walk out, it's gonna be one man there with tar and feathers. But no, seriously, our government is shut down. Where our national debt is crazy. I mean, we have a plethora of issues, and you are spending our tax-paying money to worry about a possible cryptocurrency that Iran might use. First of all, there is no stopping crypto.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, what you gonna do? Stop computers?
If they want to use it, they're going to use it. And if you want to use it with them, all you really need to do is find a mixer and a VPN, and boom, you are in business. So there is no stopping this from happening. So this is literally waste, fraud, and abuse when it comes to taxpayer money. So Mike Gallagher, whether you thought you were doing a good job or not, like, shame on you and your team, because you wasted my money, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Like, you are literally wasting my money. And again, they're not going to stop it. We're talking about these sanctions against Iran's nuclear program, this, that, and other. Like, there's so much other stuff to worry about. Can we at least worry about getting our government working for Christmas first before we worried about pie in the sky, financial terrorists, money laundering scheme that hasn't even happened yet, that probably won't happen? Because also, here's the other thing about money laundering, people. It takes a lot. Like, you have to be pretty smart to be. You got to be savvy to do all that stuff. And I believe in Iran right now, Middle East, they use Hawala, which is a form of passing money around without using any type of computing power. I mean, it's literally just passing cash around and who owes who, and they keep accounting system of this. If they can keep an accounting system of this, whether they wanted to money launder or not, they could do it. They're already doing it. Terrorists are already being terrorists. You know what I mean? Like, so. Again, waste, fraud, and abuse. A shame on you, Mike Gallagher, for wasting our money on this one.
Come on, Gallagher.
And to end it on a great note, though, if you're like us, I know Bitcoin Zay mentioned it to me the other day, had me laughing, but we didn't know where it came from. Was it Western Union?
Yeah, Western Union.
Bitcoin Zay mentioned Western Union. Had came out and they were talking about.
They were saying like crypto doesn't bother them. They have their own, and they had a commercial basically saying that they're better.
And this is what, last week?
Last week, yeah.
So it came out the blue last week. Western Union steps up, does a commercial. We're better than crypto. It doesn't bother us. And we had no clue actually why they just came out the blue and was like, hey, end of the year, just want to let y'all know.
If you want to send money, use us, please.
Well, it looks like a new story has came out that explains why. Exploding cryptocurrency use in remittances from the United States. 15.8% of remittances are now using cryptocurrency. For those who don't understand what that means,
get them numbers up. Get them numbers up.
Wow.
Yeah, Terrence J playlist. That commercial's trash, but these numbers are good.
This is new research found, a new report by research-focused cryptocurrency company Clover, which is an interesting name, Clover, because Bank of America actually has a Clover, like their Square Cash card reader. It's called Clover now. So I'm not sure if that has any. Like, who owns this company now? You know what I mean? Need to find that out. But it has revealed a significant upsurge in the use of cryptocurrency and remittances across the globe. For those who know what remittances is, that is basically sending money back home. You know, I'm from China or Russia or Mexico, wherever. I live in the United States, and I just want to send money back home. Well, until cryptocurrency, Western Union and the likes like that, you know, or bank transfer, SEPA and all that, we're taking multiple days and costing up to 30 to 40, about 33% on the dollar.
Way too much money.
So if you wanted to send $100 back to your home country that you worked hard for here in the United States, just with their fees, you can only send maybe $70 of that. Well, cryptocurrency fixed that problem. Then, as we stated last week, Western Union came out and said, don't worry about crypto. But it turns out cryptocurrency is really fixing that problem. 16% of the market share in 1 year. That's enough to make a business go under.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason that number isn't higher is because of exposure.
Right.
Like, most people don't even know that it exists.
Right.
But as soon as people use crypto, most of the time, either they think it's just like PayPal. Like some people, you know, they just kind of think they say, well, you know, I can do this with PayPal, which I can understand PayPal being number one. But then when they look at the money transfer service, Western Union, they're like, but hold up, these fees, good gracious, they're charging me $9, $10, every time I send something, and crypto is, 2 cent, 3 cent, 5 cent, and it's getting there in a few minutes. So once people see that, just exposure, it'll bypass. The flipping will happen soon, and in my opinion, hit dogs holler. So as soon as Western Union saw the writing on the wall, they just came out the blue with a commercial. Like I said, Bitcoin is becoming more and more the ex-girlfriend that bankers and money transmitter people keep saying they don't care about. They keep bringing it up.
She ain't all that, man.
They keep bringing it
up. She okay? Why?
Look at him over there.
She say something. She do something
over there with that buster.
Why she came up with something new?
Oh yeah, I thought she liked to date real men. She'll be with that,
man.
Yeah. Well, you're still worried about Bitcoin. You keep bringing it up. So obviously you see the competition coming, and it's funny to me because most of the people in these positions of power, the only reason they got there, most of the positions is because there's a system in place where they expected it to never change. Like, think about something. Like, think about something you think is never going to change ever in your life, and then one day somebody's like, yeah, totally different. This isn't going to work anymore. And you scrambling to try and find stuff. So the best you can come up with is a terrible commercial.
I mean, what if you wake up one day and you can actually code your government and you can use your phones and laptops to vote on different policies and on where your tax dollars go? Yeah. Wow, wouldn't it be a need for a bunch of people you can't trust, right? Exactly. But I mean, who would wake up to that? Kashta Tariq. I give it to Kasha. He is going down with the home team. Kasha Tariq said Ripple leads the charge for remittances and crypto. Capitalize. Hey, maybe they do.
I was gonna say, if you send some people some Ripple and they can sell it somewhere on the exchange,
here we go.
Honestly, yeah.
I will say, you know, and to be fair, this article says cryptocurrency because not just Ripple or Bitcoin. I'm sure people are sending some Dogecoin back and forth. Yeah. Come on, it works, people.
And towards J Players, bro, I'm so glad you brought this up because one of the biggest things, like if you grew up in neighborhoods with Food Lions and with some of these hood stores and Western Union and MoneyGram, they always broke and they always something's wrong with it. They don't have pins for the paper. The phone isn't working right now.
They are always there.
There is no person behind the counter. Like it's some sort of human interaction you have to do it.
And that shows you they know their client. They know who they can steal from, who they can't steal from. Period.
Yeah. Because if certain type of people came in there and they started raising hell, you would have perfect service. But with Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know the other person send it or the process that it goes through. You just know that it works. So
it looks like who else said something? Harold George said Western Union is dirty. My mom sends money down Jamaica, but the good news, they play footsie with the lottery scammers out there. It's pretty funny.
Hey, it's got to be something going on because I talked to a guy. He is the head of the consulate of Mexico in the U.S. and he's in Charlotte, and he actually started a remittance company way back in the day, and he was telling us how a lot of times people don't understand the corruption that goes on with remittances in other countries. The only reason they allow certain stuff to happen like that is because they have different groups, politicians, gangsters, whatever you have, and they have to get their cut. So they're like, hey, this fee you charging not enough, player. You need to up that because you're gonna have to give me 10%. You're gonna have to give them 10%. So that's what I've seen in foreign markets that why the fees are so high. But Bitcoin is changing all that, man.
Wow. And just to kind of look at some numbers here. It says over 148 billion was sent abroad from the U.S. in 2017. So let's say 148 billion is getting sent. You're going to hit 30% on that, right? What does that take us down to? 150, 300? I got to use my calculator, people. All right, we're going to do this math in front of you.
150, 30%?
So that's 45. So about 105 billion only sees the light of day, people.
Yeah.
105. So you're telling me $42 billion goes missing for a fee.
For a fee.
Are you crazy?
Jesus.
$42 billion?
Yeah, and that's right, Cash. If nothing else, if crypto were to die today, or if crypto was to be worthless, so to say, at the very least, they're making these companies change and become better. They're making their fees lower. They're making it faster. Look at the rapid development of Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, all of the Cash App, Abra. Look how fast they started developing since 2014 when Apple Pay came out. So we're talking about 4 years here, people, and then people are just pumping out apps trying to compete with crypto without saying crypto. And Western Union is no different, man.
And last but not least, just to look at some of these current money sending methods that like to rob you. PayPal, 51%. Again, we already know PayPal has been going downhill fast this year. I would be surprised if PayPal lasts another 2 or 3 years. Or at least, when I say last, maybe they can survive as a business, like still being open, but last as far as PayPal being one of the premier spots to go to transfer money, because they're starting to look a lot like MySpace.
Yeah.
And you know what? So be it. You wanted to play by the traditional rules. You thought initially you wanted to change the game, but you went back. You got the tap on the shoulder. You want to play with the good old boys?
What you do?
Hey, stay with them. Money transfer services like Western Union, another 50.9%. Traditional wire transfer. So again, the top three, 51% PayPal or online services, 50.9% money services like Western Union, 25.7% like actual banks or credit unions. Again, people, you're looking at 30 to 33% of your money leaving right in front of your face using these top three services. Now, let's not even talk about the exchange places at airports or near airports. I mean, this is just astronomical the way they charge. I think it's another like 25, 30% with those as well. So, and then fourth place, you finally have crypto coming in. Again, as you said, it's an exposure thing. By the time more people find out about crypto, and how you save less than, you spend less than 1% transferring something, it'll be huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big news. Other than that, are we doing cryptic coin today? Free cryptic coin.
Yeah, we can give away some free cryptic coins. Let us know, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want from the crypto market? Crypto Christmas. What do you want to see for next year? Let us know. What can Santa bring you to make you happy this year? And leave that cryptic coin address, and we'll send that those free coins. So,
or you can buy a copy of Zay's book.
Absolutely.
And let us know the top thing you learned out of it too.
Absolutely. I will make sure we post it under the video. $20. You can pay with cash. You can pay with Bitcoin. I'll be adding Litecoin, Ethereum later. And like I said, if you just email me and want to send Cash App, that's fine too. So either way, it is krbecrypto.com/shop. So click on the shop link at the top, and it's the very first thing you'll see is the Bitcoin Starter Guide 3.0. So.
All right, there we go. As always, we're doing the show tomorrow. I believe we're going to be off tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we'll be off tomorrow.
Okay, we'll be off tomorrow. Possibly we'll be off Wednesday. So you will see us by the end of this week. If not, you will see us Monday, but probably by the end of this week, folks. Make sure those post notifications are on.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Shannon. Yeah, I'll keep if people buy the book, you'll get some extra crypt. Hey,
there we go.
Some more cryptic coins for those who buy it. I'll make sure I post that around. So
perfect.
Definitely.
Perfect. All right, you all have a happy holidays. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, just eat some food to sleep in.
Festivus.
Right. Other than that, have a great one. We will see you all later on this week. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Festivus.